SEBI Grade A exam pattern is one of the easiest amongst the various regulatory body exams. It is important to understand the exam pattern because it will help you strategize your preparation and come closer to your dream of being a SEBI Grade A officer. Hello everyone, welcome to iExamB. I am Prachi Agarwal, the finance faculty at iExamB with more than 15 years of experience in the finance space. And in this particular video, I will tell in detail about the exam pattern of SEBI, what key points you need to focus on that will help you in your preparation, what has been the cutoffs over the last 3 recruitment cycles by SEBI for the general stream, and what is the possibility of pattern change this year and how you should approach your preparation. Before I move on, you can check the video related to the eligibility for this particular exam from my video which I did few days back, and you will find the link for it in the description box. So you can check out the eligibility once again. And if you are eligible, this is the next step to understand the exam pattern well. To start with, what is the purpose of conducting this exam? This particular exam has been designed in a way to help the organization, that is SEBI here, test you on various aspects. They will be able to test you on your aptitude, that is your cognitive abilities, your knowledge, and your personality and communication skills. These 3 aspects are tested through a well-designed exam process and a selection process that consists of 3 phases. Your phase 1, which is qualifying in nature, which means that if you clear this, you are qualified to give phase 2 exam. Phase 2, which is a merits based exam where how you perform will be counted for your final selection, and this particular phase will have an 85% weightage in your final selection. Both phase 1 and phase 2 are written exams which are conducted online, okay, in an online mode. And then the last is the interview stage, which is testing in addition to your knowledge, your personality and your communication skills, and it has a 15% weightage in your overall selection. If we now look at phase 1, what is phase 1 comprising? Phase 1 is focusing on testing your aptitude and your knowledge to some extent. This is done with the help of 2 papers. Paper 1, which is your aptitude paper consisting of quant, reasoning, English, and general awareness, including your financial awareness. Paper 2 for the general stream consists of various subjects related to finance, which includes your accountancy, your costing, your finance, your Companies Act, economics, and management. So this is a combination of topics from these various subjects. They do not have a clear demarcated number of questions being asked in this particular paper. If we talk about phase 2, it is testing your knowledge extensively and your writing skills with the help of 2 papers. First paper is descriptive English, which is testing your writing skills through questions based on an essay, a précis, and a reading comprehension. And paper 2 is again testing your knowledge even further on these subjects of accountancy, finance, costing, Companies Act, economics, and management. What we mean by 1/3 and 2/3 weightage, I will explain further in this video. And the last stage, if you clear the phase 2 and move to the interview stage, in that you have a face-to-face panel interview with SEBI, and that after that, adding your marks from phase 2 and your interview is how your final selection happens. So this is the brief in selection process. Now let me explain you in detail all these 3 phases. When it comes to phase 1, as I stated, there are 2 papers, paper 1 and paper 2. Paper 1 is your aptitude paper, which consists of questions on general awareness, including financial sector related questions, English language, quantitative aptitude, and test of reasoning. It is a 100 marks question and you are given 1 hour for this. In this, in the past, as we have seen, there are 20 questions of 25 marks from each of these 4 segments, that is GA, your English, your quantitative aptitude and your test of रीजनिंग. इन चारों में आपके 20 क्वेश्चंस ईच आते हैं और इनके मार्क्स 25 मार्क्स के टोटल रहता है. नाउ व्हेन आई सेड इन द बिगिनिंग कि SEBI is one of the easiest exam patterns in the regulatory body, what I meant here was there is no sectional cutoff, no sectional cutoff, which is a very advantageous point for many of the students who may not be equally good or have the equal aptitude for all these 4 papers. In various other exams आपकी एक subject wise minimum sectional cutoff भी होती है. Say for example, you may need a minimum marks in general awareness or some minimum marks in English language or reasoning or quantitative aptitude. But in SEBI, there is no such thing. You can get the cutoff marks from either all of the marks from general awareness or English combined, or a combination of some marks in all of these. So various permutations and combinations you can have. You should just be able to clear paper 1. That is the important part. If I talk about paper 2 for the general stream, as I stated before, there are 6 subjects that are covered: commerce and accountancy, management, finance, costing, companies act and economics. This is for 100 marks and it consists of 50 questions of 2 marks each. Here there is no defined breakup between these subjects and the number of questions that will be asked. So these 50 questions will cover topics from all of these subjects, but there is no specific number of questions from each that will be there. However, from the past we can see that each of these subjects will have questions in the range of 6 to 10 questions each from each of these, right? So minimum of 6, maximum of 10, 11 questions from each of these subjects can be there. So again, various permutations, combinations which are possible here. Now let's move on to understand this another way why phase 1 is one of the easiest to crack in case of SEBI, which brings me to point of cutoff. In phase 1, there is a generic cutoff in the SEBI exam. What this means is everybody who gets a minimum of 30% marks in paper 1, a minimum of 40% marks in paper 2 and aggregate of 40 marks in both these papers together is qualified phase 1 and is eligible to give the phase 2 of this exam, which is a very big point. Why? Because you are not competing with your other participants and aspirants at phase 1 level at least. phase 1 में जितने भी स्टूडेंट्स के एटलीस्ट 30% मार्क्स पेपर 1 में आ जाए, एटलीस्ट 40% मार्क्स पेपर 2 में आ जाए एंड एटलीस्ट 40% मार्क्स इन दोनों के कंबाइंड अगर आ जाए तो आप फेज 2 के लिए एलिजिबल हो जाते हैं, विच इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट बिकॉज यहाँ पे आप दूसरे से अभी भी compete नहीं कर रहे हैं, right? So to explain in number terms, if you get 30 marks here out of 100, if you get 40 marks here out of 100, you will not qualify. Why? Because in aggregate you have got 70 marks, which is not 40% of the total, because 40% of the total of 100 and 100 200 marks is 80 marks, right? So you need to get maybe 35 here, 45 here, or 30 here, 50 here, or 40 here, 40 here. So any combination which gives you at least 30 marks or above in paper 1, at least 40 marks and above in paper 2, and 80 marks and above in both the papers combined together is when you go to phase 2. Now that this is clear, let's move on to phase 2. Phase 2 will also have 2 papers, paper 1, paper 2. Paper 1 is your descriptive English, which is testing your writing skills and your drafting skills. This has an essay and you are giving enough choice, right? You will get 4 essay topics and you have to write an essay on only one. Then there is an RC passage, reading comprehension, and then there is a Preci related to the English language, right? And your paper 2 has the same subject, same syllabus as your phase 1. So when you start preparing in phase 1, you are automatically also preparing for your phase 2. So that is another point where your SEBI preparation and your SEBI exam pattern is very, very conducive to your preparation. You don't have to prepare different aspects for the different phases, right? Here, now the point of weightage. What do we mean by 1/3 weightage and 2/3 weightage? This means when you get your marks out of 200, it will be scaled down to 100 by taking a weightage of 1/3 and 2/3 for the respective papers. So let me give you an example. These are the marks of AIR 1 holder in 2022. Say if he got 58 marks out of 100 in his English paper and 83 marks in his paper 2 out of 100, he's got a total of 141 out of 200. Now this will be scaled down to 100 by taking 1/3 of 58 and 2/3 of 83 to add up and make 74.67 out of 100. So this 200 is scaled down to 100 in this particular weightage. So yes, your paper 2 is of utmost importance in your overall selection. It will help you in your phase 1. It will also help you in your phase 2 and also help you bring up your score in phase 2 because it has a higher weightage. So paper 2 preparation is very, very important and critical for your selection in SEBI. Now let's further understand the cutoff criteria. Here also a cutoff criteria has been mentioned that you need to have at least 30% marks in paper 1, at least 40% marks in paper 2, and in aggregate you need to get 50% marks. That means you should have at least 100 out of 200 and you need to have at least 30 out of 100 here and you need to have at least 40 out of 100 here, right? Does this mean that everybody who clears this will go to the interview stage? Here the answer is no. Here you are competing with other aspirants for the SEBI grade A position, right? So for the interview stage, usually 3 times the number of vacancies are the people who are shortlisted for the interview stage. So you need to be in those top people who are qualifying for the interview stage, and therefore subject to this minimum cutoff, you will then be placed in a merit-based cutoff for your selection to the phase 3, that is the interview. So if we look at the pattern of the cutoffs for the phase 2 in the last 3 recruitment cycles, in 2022 it was 62.34 out of 100. Of course, as I stated, this will be scaled down to 100 marks based on a 1/3 and 2/3 criteria. This in 2022 it was 66 and in 2018 it was 64. So you can very easily say above 60 is definitely the cutoff, and then it could vary plus minus 2 depending on the exam level and the performance by the various aspirants. Moving to the phase 3, which is the interview stage, which will have a 15% weightage, right? So you have a 101 interview with the panel and they give you marks, and that 15% of that is added to the final selection. So if we see from the last slide, this was the written exam marks cutoff. Now this is scaled down to 85%, that is 85% is taken, and 52.99, 56.1 or 54.4 depending on what the cutoff had been on that particular year. And the final cutoff that was announced was 64.82, 69.24 and 69.37. So the difference here is the interview marks, right, that was added here, right? So this is just an example. This may not look accurate to you, that this is not adding up or it is giving almost full marks in the interview, although that is also possible. Very high marks are also given if you are very good in your knowledge, your communication and your personality. You can get very good marks in interview also. But here, because these cutoffs are not necessarily of a single person, therefore this totals may be a little different. But what I'm trying to explain here is these phase 2 marks are then scaled down a weightage of 85%, and then the interview marks are added to give you the final selection cutoff. Now coming to one very important question which some students who already know the exam pattern may have in mind is, could the exam pattern change this year? Now this question has come to foray because of the fact that recently when SEBI legal notification had come out, and we are currently in the selection process of SEBI legal vacancies. Phase 2 has already been done, and now the students are preparing for the interview stage. So when this notification came, there were certain changes that were seen in the exam pattern, right? When I say exam pattern, it was not that the selection process was changed. It still consists of the 3 phases, phase 1, phase 2 and the interview stage of phase 3. Still phase 1 has 2 papers, paper 1 and paper 2, and both of them are same, and still phase 2 has the same papers, paper 1 and paper 2. Both again are same. This is descriptive English, this is professional knowledge, this is professional knowledge, this is aptitude. Still the percentages, the weightage, the cutoff criterias are same. What has changed is 3 aspects. One, as I said, phase 1 is totally same. One aspect that has changed is that in phase 2, initially there used to be only objective 50 questions of 2 marks, now which was giving you 100 marks. Now they have broken this 100 marks down into 70 marks objective of 1 mark each and 30 marks descriptive, okay, which is 3 questions of 10 marks each, and you are given a choice. Out of 5 you have to do 3 questions, right? So this is the change that has happened, that initially there was only objective 50 questions of 2 marks was making up 100. Now this 100 has been broken down into 70 objective questions of 1 mark each and 30 marks descriptive, which is done with the help of 3 questions of 10 marks each, and you are given a choice. Out of 5 questions you have to attempt 3. One more change was that initially the syllabus was more or less the same for both phase 1 and phase 2. Now that syllabus, they have kind of segregated what will be there for phase 1 and what will be there for phase 2. So not very huge changes, but smaller changes which are very easily adaptable. If you understand the changes well, you prepare for them well, and you strategize your preparation and do the revision in the right manner. So if you focus your energies in the right manner, you can very, very easily adjust to such changes if they so come in the general stream also. And the best part is, with the kind of syllabus already available for general stream, there is very, very little scope that there is anything additional that can be added over here. You're already studying accountancy, you're already studying costing, you're already studying Companies Act, you're already studying finance, you're already studying economics topic, you're already studying management. So there's almost everything that is being covered from the SEBI's perspective here that is there. Having said that, iExamB is always there to help you prepare 50% faster and in the most crisp manner. And to showcase that, when this year SEBI Legal came out with the notification and there were these few changes that were brought in, iExamB has helped the students prepare for it very, very well, and we are very, very happy and proud to share that out of the 77 students who have been shortlisted for the interview stage, so the interview is yet to take place, the result for phase 2 is out, and 77 students have been shortlisted. Out of that, 36 have, or from our course of SEBI Legal, have made it to the interview list, and we are still counting this number. This is not really the final number. Of course, we have started with guiding our students for the interview preparation stage also. So in case you need any guidance from that aspect, you can always reach out to us, and you can always bank on iExamB to help you prepare with the expert guidance for any regulatory body exam. right? So wishing you all the best. In case you have any other queries, you can always reach out to us at 920-552-4028 or email us at hello@iexambee.com. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so that you are updated about any news related to your preparation for any of the regulatory body exams or other government exams. Thank you and wishing you all the best.